Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold and the Beautiful. I'm Amma, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful update, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Deacon Sharpe adjusted his tie for the third time, his reflection in the polished mahogany desk catching a man worn thin by too many second chances. Taylor, poised in her high-backed chair with the effortless grace of someone who danced on the edge of sanity herself, offered a warm smile that didn't quite reach her eyes that had seen the wreckage of hearts like his own, shattered and reassembled with surgical precision. "Deacon, it's good to see you back so soon," she said softly, her voice a soothing balm laced with professional curiosity. "Last time, we barely scratched the surface. Tell me, what brought you here today? Is it still Sheila?" He sank into the leather armchair opposite her, the weight of Giardino's chaos pressing on his shoulders like an ill-fitted suit. "Yeah, document. It's always Sheila. I thought marrying her would fix things, lock in that redemption arc everyone's been pushing. But after what she pulled with Luna, hiding that girl's alive, letting me think she was gone forever, it's like I'm back at square one, staring at a woman I love but don't trust anymore." Taylor nodded, her pen hovering over her notepad like a therapist's scalpel, ready to excise the rot. "Love and trust aren't always bedfellows, Deacon. You've built an empire on instinct, pizza, sure, but really on betting on the underdog. Is that what you're doing here? Betting on her?" He chuckled bitterly, rubbing his stubbled jaw. "Maybe. Or maybe I'm just a fool who keeps signing up for the same bad sequel. Hope and Deke, they look at me like I'm the punchline. Dad, anyone but her. But walking away. God, Taylor, it feels like quitting on the whole damn story." Across town, at the Forrester Creations design floor where bolts of silk whispered promises of glamour against the hum of sewing machines, Hope Logan paced like a caged panther, her heels clicking a staccato rhythm of frustration. Deke, her half-brother with that perpetual artist's dishevelment, hair tousled, sketchpad tucked under his arm, leaned against a drafting table, his eyes tracing the curve of her worry. "He's killing himself over this, Hope," Deke murmured, his voice low to avoid the prying ears of interns flitting about like designer fireflies. "Dad's got that look again, the one he had after Mom bailed. Sheila's poison, and he drinks it like it's vintage Chianti." Hope stopped, her hands flying to her hips in that classic Logan stance, all fire and fortitude. "I know," I told him straight up. "Dad, you're better than the circus." But he just smiles that shark grin and says, "Kiddo, love's not a straight line." Straight line? It's a pretzel. And now he's spilling his guts to Taylor? Of all people? Deke's brow furrowed, a spark of mischief igniting in his gaze. Taylor Hayes? The shrink with the Forrester pedigree? Hey, if anyone's gonna unpack that baggage, it's her. But yeah, awkward. Brooke's bestie therapizing my old man. Hope shot him a sidelong glance, her lips quirking despite the tension. Awkward doesn't cover it. Mom's over the moon about her marriage to Ridge, gushing about how she wants Taylor to find her own happiness. Meanwhile, Dad's in session with the woman who could probably diagnose Sheila from a mile away. If this blows up... Deke stepped closer, his hand brushing her arm in brotherly solidarity. "It won't. We'll be there, pizza, and pep talks. Speaking of, you see that stack of portfolios? I slipped mine in. Fingers crossed I don't have to design aprons for Giardino forever." Hope laughed, a bright peel cutting through the gloom. "Deke Sharpe, designer extraordinaire. Just don't let Dad know, or he'll claim credit for your muse." Back in Taylor's sanctum, the air thickened with the scent of chamomile tea steaming from porcelain cups, a futile attempt to brew calm into the storm raging in Deacon's chest. He leaned forward, elbows on knees, his voice dropping to a gravelly whisper. "I keep replaying it, Taylor. That night she confessed about Luna. I did it for us, she says, like harboring a fugitive's the romantic gesture. And me? I bought it. Hook, line, and straight razor." Taylor set her cup down with deliberate care, her expression a masterful blend of empathy and challenge. "Deacon, You've navigated worse betrayals, your own even. What does this one unearth? Fear? Anger? Or something deeper, like the part of you that craves the chaos because it's familiar? He met her gaze, unflinching, the raw vulnerability cracking his tough guy facade. All of it. Fear she'll snap again, like she did with you and Steffi. Anger that I let her. And, yeah, deeper. It's like I'm addicted to the fight, the makeup fire. But seeing Hope and Deke's faces, they're right. I deserve more than survival mode. Taylor's eyes softened, a flicker of personal ghosts dancing there, memories of her own tangled loves with Ridge, Brooke's shadow ever looming. Deserving it is the first step. The hard part's claiming it. What if you imagined a life without the drama? Who would Deacon Sharpe be then? He paused, the question hanging like smoke from a spent cigar. Hell if I know. But maybe steady, maybe even happy. She smiled then, genuine, reaching across the desk to squeeze his hand, a bridge of trust in the chasm of doubt. That's the man I see here. Keep coming back and we'll find him. Meanwhile, at the Spencer mansion where ocean breezes carried the salt of old wounds, Brooke Logan reclined on a chaise lounge, her silk robe pooling like liquid gold around her, Ridge Forrester's strong hands massaging the tension from her shoulders with the reverence of a sculptor reclaiming his masterpiece. God, Ridge, I never thought we'd get here, she sighed, her voice husky with contentment. You and me, solid as the day we said I do, again. It's like all the storms finally cleared. He chuckled, that deep rumble vibrating through her, his fingers tracing the curve of her spine. Logan, we've weathered monsoons. It's the calm we earned. But as his touch lingered, her mind wandered to the woman who'd once been his everything. And Taylor, I want this for her too. Peace. A man who sees her light without eclipsing it. Not like. Ridge's hand stilled, his brow creasing in that thoughtful furrow she adored. Not like us, you mean? The eternal triangle? Brooke turned, pulling him down beside her, her blue eyes fierce with sincerity. No, not like that. She's my friend now, really. After everything, the lies, the loves. I just hope she finds someone who doesn't make her question her worth every dawn. Ridge cupped her face, his gaze locking with hers in silent promise. She will. Taylor's a force, stronger than she knows. And if Deacon's stepping up as her patient. Brooke's laugh bubbled up, light and teasing. Deacon? Therapy? That's a plot twist even I couldn't script. But if anyone's gonna help him ditch the drama queen, it's her. The session in Taylor's office crested like a wave about to break, Deacon's confessions pouring out in a torrent that left him drained, exposed. I told Sheila I needed space and she just nodded, like she knew it was coming. But her eyes, Taylor, they were screaming. What if I walk and she spirals? Back to the old Sheila, the one who shoots first and asks questions never. Taylor leaned back, her voice steady as a heartbeat monitor. You can't control her path, Deacon. Only yours. Codependency's a cage for both of you. Remember what you said? Steady. Happy. Start there. He rose slowly, the chair creaking in protest, and extended his hand, not for a shake, but a clasp that lingered. Thanks, document. For seeing me, not the headlines. She stood too, the hug impulsive yet inevitable, her arms wrapping around his broad frame in a gesture of unburdened support, his chin resting briefly on her shoulder as relief washed over them both. Anytime, she murmured. You're worth the work. Unseen from the cracked door, a shadow stirred. Sheila Carter, her red hair aflame in the dim hallway, her manicured nails digging into the doorframe like claws unsheathed. She'd followed him here, driven by a gnawing intuition that had clawed at her since his evasive phone call at Giardino. Now, witnessing this intimacy, her heart hammered a war drum. Taylor Hayes, she hissed under her breath, venom twisting her lips. Of all the meddling shrinks. At Forrester, the Sibling pact solidified over lukewarm lattes from the office machine. Hope and Deke huddled in a corner alcove away from the bustle of fabric swatches and mood boards. I mean it, Deke. Hope insisted, her voice a fervent whisper. Dad's got a good heart. Too good. Sheila's used it up like yesterday's dough. Taylor's sharp. She'll help him see it. Deke nodded, sketching absent-mindedly on a napkin, a stylized vine curling around a heart, thorns and all. Yeah, but what if it's more than therapy? Dad's got that vibe around strong women. Remember Brooke? Hope swatted his arm playfully, though her eyes held a shadow of old pains. Ancient history. And Taylor's not mom, she's evolved. Besides, if it keeps him from Sheila's grip, I'm all for it. A ping from her phone shattered the moment. A text from Brooke. Darling, dinner tonight? Ridge is whipping up something Italian. Bring Deke. We need family. Hope smiled faintly, typing back a yes. See? Even mom's on the optimism train. Let's just pray Dad doesn't derail it. Sheila's heels echoed like accusations down the corridor outside Taylor's door, her breath coming in sharp, controlled bursts as she fought the urge to burst in, to shatter the moment she'd glimpsed, the hug that spoke of secrets shared, vulnerabilities bared. No, she thought, straightening her posture with the iron will that had survived prisons and passions alike. Play it smart, Sheila. You've clawed your way back from worse. By the time Deacon emerged, waving a casual goodbye, she was gone, a ghost in designer heels, plotting her next move. Back at Il Giardino, the restaurant's warm lights did little to thaw the chill in her veins as she nursed a glass of Merlot at the bar, Deacon's absence a gaping wound. Hope breezed in later, her presence a whirlwind of concern and confrontation. Sheila, where's Dad? He bailed on family hour again. Sheila's smile was a masterpiece of feigned warmth, her eyes glinting like shattered glass. Therapy, darling. Sorting his head. Taylor Hayes, top-notch, really. Hope's brows shot up, suspicion flaring. Taylor? As in, Ridge's ex, Brooke's frenemy. Sheila sipped her wine, savoring the tart bite. The very one. She's got that magic touch. But don't worry, he's coming home to me. Hope leaned in, voice dropping to a steely edge. Is he? Because from where I'm standing, home's looking a lot like a trap. Dad deserves better. Stability, not your brand of fireworks. Sheila's laugh tinkled like breaking crystal. Fireworks keep the lights on, Hope. And your father's lit the fuse 1,000 times. He'll be back. The evening deepened into Twilight's embrace, Taylor locking her office with a sigh that carried the day's echoes, Deacon's turmoil mirroring her own unspoken yearnings. She paused at her desk, flipping through notes. Patient exhibits classic attachment wounds, potential for growth if boundaries held. But as she gathered her bag, a knock, sharp, insistent, rattled the door. Sheila Carter stood there, uninvited, her silhouette a storm cloud against the hall's fluorescence. Dr. Hayes, she purred, stepping inside without awaiting permission, the door clicking shut like a loaded chamber. Taylor's pulse quickened, instincts honed from past clashes firing. Sheila, this is highly irregular. If you're here about Deacon, Sheila cut her off with a raised hand, elegant yet edged, circling the room like a predator assessing prey. Oh, I am. Sessions, you call them? Cozy little chats where he bears his soul to you, of all people. The woman who once called me a monster. Taylor held her ground, arms crossed, voice level as a surgeon's incision. Doctor-patient confidentiality, Sheila. You know that. Deacon came to me for help. Your marriage, Luna's mess. I'm guiding him, not judging. Sheila whirled, eyes blazing with a mix of hurt and fury. Guiding? I saw the hug. That wasn't notes and nods. That was connection. Are you playing therapist or temptress? Because if you're sniffing around my husband, remember, I don't share. Taylor's laugh was soft, disbelieving. Temptress? Please. I've danced that tango with worse than you. This is about Deacon healing, not your insecurities. And let's not forget, you shot me once. My daughter. If anyone's got history, it's me forgiving yours. Sheila advanced inches away now, her perfume cloying as a threat. Forgiveness has limits, Doctor. He's mine, flaws and all. Push, and you'll see how far I'll go to keep it that way. The air crackled, Two titans toe-to-toe until Taylor stepped back, opening the door. Leave, Sheila, before this becomes a session of its own. Word of the standoff rippled through the Logan Forrester web like a stone in a still pond. Brooke, fresh from a candlelit dinner with Ridge, where wine flowed and whispers turned to plans for a Hawaiian getaway, away from the madness, Logan, just us, caught Hope's frantic call on the villa's veranda. Mom, Sheila's unhinged. She cornered Taylor after Dad's session. What if she flips? Brooke's grip tightened on her phone, maternal fire igniting. Taylor can handle herself. She's tougher than she looks. But Deacon, oh, Hope, he's in deep. Ridge, overhearing, pulled her close, his voice a gravelly anchor. Let them sort it. Taylor's got Deacon's number, Sheila's bluffing. But Brooke's mind raced to old battlegrounds, the endless loop of love's betrayals. Bluffing? With her? That's playing Russian roulette. I need to see Taylor. Make sure she's okay. Hope's voice cracked through the line. Do it. And tell her Dad's worth saving, but not at the cost of her safety. As Brooke hung up, Ridge's arms enveloped her, but her thoughts were already miles away, plotting intervention. Deke, meanwhile, nursed his secret triumph in the dim glow of his tiny studio apartment above a tattoo parlor, portfolio sketches spread like battle plans. His phone buzzed. Hope. Portfolio in? Fingers crossed. He typed back. In like Flynn. Now about Dad. But before he could vent, Deacon's name flashed. Kid, you busy? Need a sounding board. Deke's heart sank. His father's tone was that post-storm hush. Always, Dad. Spill. Deacon's sigh crackled over the line. Therapy's kicking my ass in a good way. Taylor's got me questioning everything. Sheila showed up after, tense. But I'm thinking, maybe it's time. Deke pumped a fist in silent victory. Time for what? Coffee with reality. A pause, then Deacon's wry laugh. Time to choose me. For once. As they talked into the night, fathers and sons bridging gaps with banter and brutal honesty, Deke felt the shift, a tide turning toward dawn. Sheila, alone in the echoing vastness of the cliffside home she'd shared with Deacon, poured another glass, the Merlot's depth mirroring her despair. Fool, she muttered to the empty room, pacing before a fireplace where flames licked at logs like accusatory tongues. You think Taylor's your savior? She's a siren, luring you to rocks. Flashbacks assaulted her. The prison bars, the botched surgeries, the fragile peace she'd bartered with vows. I changed for you, she whispered to the shadows. Swallowed the darkness. But doubt gnawed, relentless. Picking up her phone, she scrolled to Finn's number, her son, the one loose thread of redemption, then deleted the draft. No, not yet. Instead, a text to Deacon. Come home. We talk. No games. His reply was swift. Tomorrow. Need the night. She hurled the glass into the fire, shards exploding like her resolve. Tomorrow, then. But Taylor? Stay away. The next morning dawned crisp, Los Angeles's smog a hazy veil over secret stirring. Taylor arrived at her office early, the confrontation's echo lingering like a bruise. Brooke was waiting, perched on the reception sofa with coffees in hand, her smile a lifeline. Taylor, honey, Hope called. Sheila? Taylor waved her in, locking the door against the world. Ambushed me last night. Thinks I'm after Deacon, like that's the plot. Brooke's eyes widened, then narrowed in protective fury. That woman's a lit fuse. You okay? Taylor sank into her chair, the therapist mask slipping to reveal the friend beneath. Shaken. But Deacon, he's genuine, Brooke. Hurting. I can't abandon that. Brooke reached across, squeezing her hand. Then don't. But boundaries, steel ones. And if she comes at you again. Taylor nodded, gratitude swelling. I've got you. Always. Their laughter mingled, a rare harmony in the symphony of rivalry turned alliance. Deacon, at Giardino's counter-prepping dough with rhythmic thuds that mirrored his turmoil, felt the pull, toward Taylor's clarity, away from Sheila's storm. Deke burst in, portfolio under arm, grin electric. Dad. Hope's buzzing. They shortlisted mine. Deacon pulled him into a bear hug, flour dusting them both. That's my boy. Talent like yours? Forrester's gain. But Deke's joy dimmed, sensing the undercurrent. And you? Session's helping. Deacon wiped his hands, meeting his son's eyes. More than I thought. Taylor's insightful. Makes me see the blind spots. Deke hesitated, then plunged. Good blind spots? Or the one where Mom or Sheila keeps you leashed? Deacon's jaw tightened, but his voice held steady. The latter. Thinking of cutting loose. Deke hooped, clapping his back. About time. Pizza parties on me. As the day unfolded, threads wove tighter. Hope interviewing designers, her eye catching Deke's bold lines amid the safe bets, Ridge sketching in his studio, Brooke's portrait taking form with tender strokes, Sheila at a spa, masking rage with cucumber slices, plotting a grand gesture to reclaim her throne. But the axis turned on Taylor's doorstep that evening when Deacon arrived unannounced, a bottle of vintage Scotch in hand. House call, she teased, but her eyes searched his. Needed to say thanks. For yesterday. For not bullshitting me. She stepped aside, the door closing softly. Deacon, this blurs lines. He set the bottle down, hands open in surrender. Just talk. No couch. They settled on her balcony, city lights sprawling below like scattered diamonds. Sheila confronted you, he guessed, reading her tension. Taylor nodded, sipping Scotch. Jealous. Possessive. But it's fear, Deacon, hers, not just of losing you. He stared into his glass, swirling amber depths. I know. That's the killer. Part of me wants to fix it. The rest? Wants out. She touched his arm, electric yet platonic. Then listen to the rest. You've earned peace.